Yeah, I'll talk more about this season than the other ones because I didn't pay much attention to the other ones, to be honest with you. But they're really disruptive. I think they're very confident in their system. They know what they're doing. He's obviously been running the system for a very long time, and he's been running it now at NC State for a while. And when they made the transition to go to this, I think they had this vision in their head of a very disruptive, very active group that was really talented at the second level and really physical at the first level, and that's certainly what they've become. And so I think, like I said, I think they have 21 sacks on the year. They're really disruptive. They're hard to find angles to run the ball against. They do a great job of shedding blocks, and then they can cover, and that's the piece of it too that goes in. And so you don't see very many weaknesses, and I think yards will be hard to come by for sure Saturday night working against them.
Coach, I know he's dealt with injury in the beginning of the season, but are you hoping to get Jalen Coleman more involved in the rushing attack coming off of the bye and moving forward?
Yeah, it's a really hard situation. Jalen's a great kid. He's a really talented back, but we have two backs right now that are playing at a really high level. And so as much as we want to give him those opportunities, he still has to get in front of those two guys. And so we've stayed a lot healthier this year in the backfield, which is probably really good for us by and large, and maybe not great for Jalen getting his opportunities again. But he's out there working hard every day. He's getting better every day. He's obviously a kid we have a lot of confidence in, and if the situation arises or the time arises, we'll certainly call his number, and I know he'll be ready.
After you had the two missed field goals in the last game during the bye week, have you found anything that may have led to that, or what kind of work have you done in that area with Todd?
Yeah, listen, Todd's been great. I mean, we literally has been great all last year. He's been great all off season. He's been great in practice. He was great in practice again last week. He didn't miss a kick. I think what we looked at technically was the angle he was stepping his steps off. We felt like we're blocking his hips, which squared the ball up, which pushed it. So I think there's a technical element of it that we focused on, but Todd will go out and he'll kick the ball through the uprights. That's what Todd's done since he's been here. For whatever reason, it just didn't happen the way he wanted it to Saturday.
Will Barton be available?
Yeah, Graham's back, practicing, full go, no issues with Graham. I think had we played that game Monday night, not Saturday night, we'd have had both Graham and Myles ready to go. They were both really close. We just couldn't get them over the hump, and so both those guys will be back and ready to go.
How did Brian Parker look on film?
Really good. I mean, really good. And for a kid making his first start in that environment and against that defensive line, I thought Brian played really, really well. And so, obviously there's some technical things like there always would be, but I thought he competed. I thought he was assignment sound. I thought he gave us something. And I think he grew into the game as the game went on, and I think that was probably not necessarily him alone, but I think our whole offensive line grew into the game, and that was some of the success we had in the second half that maybe wasn't there in the first half.
You don't have as much film on Morris as Armstrong. Does that complicate things any?
I don't think so. I think, we go back, you got enough games from him last year. You certainly saw what he did against Marshall. You've got a ton of film on Coach Anai and what he's done, not only this year, but what he did at Syracuse, what he did at Virginia. Maybe to get a full scouting report on everything that MJ is and isn't, you probably don't have, but there's certainly enough tape to give you an idea on what to expect coming into this week.
What do you expect?
A really talented quarterback that can make every throw. I think he's got a big arm. I think he sits in the pocket and delivers the ball really well. I think he, obviously there was a little bit of angst, I'm sure, making his first start, and once he settled in, really put up some impressive, gaudy numbers on Saturday, and so, we'll have our hands full with him for sure.